So here's the deal with this Biden economic policy, dumping $1 trillion a year into building infrastructure and hilariously lowering inflation, as if you can print money and lower inflation at the same time. But nonetheless, if it was highly functional, it might actually work, meaning that if you could bring a lot of industry back to America, and especially if we could move the chip industry back to America, as obviously is necessary with the threat of China against Taiwan. But it's doomed. The whole thing is doomed because everyone wants an easy answer. Look, I can make a policy. I can write a piece of paper. I can find highly intelligent people to write those pieces of paper, right? But that's a few. We have, close to 400 million people in America now? I think we're over 350 million. Maybe I'm wrong, but either way, it's an astounding number of human beings. And if those people don't work in concert together, this is a failing plan. And nowhere does anyone want to talk about that, because what would it take to move the American people into a cohesive working network? Well, first of all, it'd take a complete rehaul of what we consider education. Forget the education system. The definition of education itself needs to change. The definition of competency needs to change. I just saw a video of a guy saying that America is short on education diplomas and technically advanced degrees, and America's short on these professional certificates required to do certain types of work. Sure, I'm sure that that's true. But we got another problem, that our basic college graduates are largely incompetent at the needs that face the world today. If we're going to fill the needs of the world, then we need to be training people to fill the needs of the world. We can't rely on this, hey, let's nurture people through a degree, and as long as they have a degree, then we should somehow be better off, or somehow we're doing what's right for our children. We're not doing what's right for our children. We're teaching them to be lazy, apathetic. You find me a 20-year-old who has purpose in their life. Like, the purpose in the life of a 20-year-old today is somehow meddling in other people's business. I'm 20 years old and I think that gay rights, or I think that these oppressed people, or an oil pipeline. I see a lot of passion there. But that's not going to save America, and that's not going to save anyone. That's just going to bring us all to turmoil. Like, a 20-year-old who wants to do something right with their life to fix the world needs to be privately studying and making themselves durable and resilient and competent and capable, so that they can face the challenges of the world and stand alone in a storm of attacks. They don't need to gather up and all agree on everything before there's any debate, and then don't let anyone in the conversation that disagrees with them, and somehow this gives purpose to your life. That doesn't give purpose to your life. And we have a whole society of people without purpose, and you can tell that just by driving around. Where are these people going? What are they doing with their lives? Where are they spending their money? I mean, you've got so many people who drive nice cars and are broke. These are people that have no purpose in their lives. If they had purpose in their lives, they would have spent their money very differently. So the evidence is all over the place. You can't create policy to restore the American economy. The American economy has to be restored by the individual efforts of hundreds of millions of people. And those efforts have to at least align in purpose. We don't have to agree on abortion, but we have to agree that if you don't work your butt off, if you don't establish yourself, if you haven't made major accomplishments in your life, then your voice is less significant than the voice of those who have. Because we need leadership. Right now, our leadership, if you look at our youth and who do they look up to, I don't see the youth looking up to 50-year-olds who have accomplished and are doing and The youth are looking up to sports athletes and musicians and civil rights leaders. And don't get me wrong, those people also, but it's not going to bring back the American economy. If you want to bring back the American economy, we have to redefine education. And we have to do that before we rehaul education. And it has to be done with the efforts of hundreds of millions of people, not bureaucrats pushing paperwork from the top down.